Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking on a really crucial topic, understanding Gen Z in the workplace. If you're navigating modern work, maybe leading teams, or even if you're just curious about this powerful new generation, you're definitely in the right place. Our insights for this one come from a great source, an episode of the HR Lens. It was specifically called Cracking the Gen Z Code at Work. So our mission here is basically to pull out the most important bits from that material. What are their core values? Where do organizations often kind of stumble? And importantly, what practical steps can you actually take to create a workplace where Gen Z can, really thrive? Because the source makes it clear, Gen Z, they're described as bold, very value-driven digital natives, and they're fundamentally shaking up our ideas about culture, communication, and even what a career path looks like. And joining me is our expert guide, someone who's really seen this generational shift firsthand, someone who's led cross-generational teams and is genuinely passionate about making workplaces work better for everyone. Okay, let's unpack this then.
From the source's view, what truly sets Gen Z apart?
Yeah, it's fascinating. What the source really emphasizes is that Gen Z's difference isn't just their age. It's a really ingrained set of core values that kind of shapes their whole approach to work. So things like purpose. For them, purpose isn't just nice to have. It's like the currency for their commitment. They need to know the why.
The why,
Exactly. And flexibility is huge too. They see work as something that should fit into their life, not, take it over completely. And mental health, this is critical. It's not seen as a perk, it's a baseline expectation. Workplaces need to actively support well-being.
That's a big shift.
It is. And finally, transparency. They expect open, honest communication. They'll challenge those old school hierarchies. These aren't just like preferences. This is fundamental to how they see their professional selves.
That really paints a picture of a generation recalibrating that whole employer-employee dynamic. It's moving beyond just climbing the ladder or loyalty for its own sake. So if these values are so core to them, where are organizations typically getting it wrong when trying to attract or keep Gen Z talent?
Well, the source points out a few common pitfalls. First, organizations often offer these quite generic roles. They don't clearly spell out the impact or the purpose behind the work. And that immediately clashes with Gen Z's need for meaning.
Right, that why again.
Exactly. Second, there's often a lack of clear, visible growth paths. This generation wants to see how they can develop, how they can progress. If it's not clear, they're not afraid to look somewhere else.
Okay, makes sense.
And maybe the biggest one, poor communication strategies. Using old formal methods. If you're not communicating authentically, quickly, and importantly on the digital platforms they actually use, you're basically speaking a different language.
Yeah, that totally tracks. A generation valuing transparency and purpose would definitely be put off by vagueness or no clear direction. But, we do hear that criticism sometimes that Gen Z is hard to manage or maybe too opinionated. Some might even say that demand for transparency feels a bit like impatience. How does the source tackle that perception? Is it myth, reality? What's the context?
Yeah, the source gives a pretty nuanced take here. It leans towards it being more myth than reality, if you understand the context. What looks like opinionated is often just them demanding that transparency we talked about, or it's a reflection of their strong values. So instead of seeing them as hard to manage, the material suggests organizations should actually embrace co-creation. Genuinely invite Gen Z to help find solutions, give them a real voice in how things are done.
Co-creation.
Interesting. And it also really highlights a necessary change in leadership styles. That traditional top-down thing, it just doesn't fly. Leaders need to shift from being commanders to being more like coaches, mentors, facilitators. Honestly, once you understand their values, the perception changes from difficult to a generation expecting a more collaborative, purposeful leadership.
That really does reframe it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does this mean in practice for leaders, for teams trying to build a workplace that works for everyone, including Gen Z? What are some practical, actionable things people can do?
Yeah, the source lays out several pretty clear strategies. First, implementing regular, consistent feedback. So think frequent check-ins, ongoing performance conversations, not just the old annual review.
Right, ditch the once-a-year model.
Exactly. It ties directly into their need for growth and transparency. Leaders also really need to connect the work to a strong sense of purpose. Clearly explain the why for tasks, link it to the bigger picture. Offering genuine flexible work options is, it's pretty much non-negotiable. Acknowledging that desire for work-life integration. And interestingly, the source really highlights reverse mentoring.
Ah, yeah. Tell me more about that.
It's where Gen Z employees share their skills, often digital skills, or their perspectives with more senior leaders. It empowers the younger generation, helps bridge those generational gaps, and injects fresh thinking into the organization. It can be really powerful.
Reverse mentoring sounds great, potentially. But does the source mention any, like, pitfalls or things to watch out for if you try to implement it?
Yeah, the main thing is making sure it's genuine, not just a box-ticking exercise. It needs senior leaders who are actually open, humble, willing to learn. And the Gen Z employees need to be sort of coached on how to share their expertise constructively. If those pieces aren't in place, it can, just fall flat.
Good point. It needs to be authentic. Okay, let's switch gears slightly. How about a quick rapid-fire segment? Just distilling some key preferences from the source. Quick insights. Slack or emails?
Slack. Definitely Slack or, any instant digital platform.
Okay. Work from anywhere or hybrid office?
The strong preference leans towards remote or true work from anywhere.
Got it. TikTok for employer branding, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely. It's about meeting them where they are authentically.
Right. Makes sense. One Gen Z trait that HR teams should try to adopt quickly.
I'd say their willingness to challenge the status quo, to embrace new ways of doing things, new tech, new perspectives. That adaptability.
Adaptability. Good one. All right, here's a bit of a hot take question straight from the source material. Should we just stop using the word millennials in HR presentations now?
Honestly, the source kind of implies, yeah, maybe we should. It's time to focus on the current emerging workforce.
That's fun, but it also kind of highlights how fast things are changing, doesn't it? So this whole deep dive into understanding Gen Z, it really isn't just about managing one new generation. It feels more like it's about evolving the entire workplace, really, for everyone. Their traits are definitely shaping what work looks like going forward.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at the bigger picture, the source really makes you think. Gen Z's focus on things like purpose, flexibility, well-being, it's not just for them. It kind of raises this bigger question. Are they actually showing all of us a path towards more humane, maybe more effective, and just more fulfilling workplaces, regardless of generation?
That's a really powerful thought to end on. We definitely encourage you, the listener, to think about what aspects of this Gen Z-friendly culture resonate most with you, and maybe what insights you could apply, whether it's in your job or just your understanding of the workforce today. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.